welcome back to the final episode of season 2 of the Sacred Emergence podcast. It is Michelle Wong here, and I am recording this sitting on my balcony in Bali. So again, if you hear sounds of nature, birds, roosters, motorcycles, you're hearing the ambient noise. That's what's surrounding me. But yeah, so as I've shared in my episode 2 episodes ago, this is going to be my final episode of this season for the Sacred Emergence podcast. I'm going to take 2 months off. And initially, when I gave the date of when to expect season 3's, just an update, I said it was going to be the end of September, but I've decided to give myself a full 2 months. So expect to hear back on Monday, October 4th, 2021. And I will decide whether or not I want to continue with this podcast or create a season 3. And just to kind of give you all a heads up, I'll likely create a season 3 because I've been talking to amazing people and they have expressed interest in wanting to be on my podcast. And I adore these peers of mine, so expect a season 3. And it's just going to change up a bit. I feel like, honoring my manifestor energy, I feel like it's better for me to do things in chunks, and I get more inspired that way. So more to come, but I so appreciate you joining me on this journey and for sticking with me for the past 2-ish years. It's crazy that this podcast was started back in 2019, and I believe it was like June 2019, and I just kept going every week, showing up. So I'm going to take a little break, tuning into, my next evolution, all the things, and talking about all of that next evolution and all the things. There's going to be changes to my programs. I gave a little hint on social media yesterday for those that connect with me on social media. But yeah, things are going to be shifting. So if you're listening to this and you've been wanting to, do a human design reading with me, or considering the Unfolding membership, I recommend reaching out soon, within the next week. This is coming out Monday, July 26th of 2021, because things are really shifting. So if you still want one, please reach out. Otherwise, you might miss your opportunity. Anyway, so with all that said, I wanted to share what's been happening in my world since coming to Bali. It's really crazy that I've been here for almost 2 months now in Bali. And, when I was here in my first time coming to Bali, 2 months felt like forever. It just felt like, wow, I'm here for 2 months. This is incredible. And, I've been traveling since April 20th of this year, and it's so hard to believe that we're already towards the end of July, and it feels like I kind of just left. So it's just crazy, this whole journey of just being abroad for a little bit. And with the lockdowns, I don't know if I mentioned it, but pretty early in the start of July this month, Bali went into, they call it partial lockdown. Like, restaurants were still open for takeaway, but they were really discouraging traveling, and there was like a curfew by 8 p.m. And so I spent a lot of time just eating on my balcony, and just, trying to minimize my going outside for walks and all of that. But after a while, I started breaking down because I'm like, this is crazy, right? So anyway, with all that said, it just has given me a lot of time because I've been in the void as well, in the void, in the feminine void, really sitting with uncertainty, with the unknown, sometimes resisting the void, and being in my rest cycle at the same time, but also dancing with coming out in little spurts and getting creative moments and then coming back into the rest cycle. Which, when we are in the rest cycle as a manifestor, it's like we're in the void, right? We're in the void, in the space of possibility, of anything being possible, and being open to the unknown. And it's both an inspiring place, and it can be a little bit I don't know, I kind of want to say boring because not a lot seems to be happening. And at the same time, there are things happening. So I've been spending a lot of my time doing embodiment work, coming back into my body, in my feminine body. I signed up to work with a new mentor end of last month, and diving into her body of work, which is all about feminine embodiment. And it's just been, like a slow drip of the content for me. I'm taking time with learning, and that is my, that's my next focus. That's my current focus moving forward, and integrating that more into my work. And so this gets to be kind of the next chapter for me. And at the same time, integrating, my passion for human design, as well as all other modalities that light me up. And that includes pieces of astrology. And I personally, for my own movement practice, I do yoga. I go on walks, and I'm also incorporating Qigong into my work, into my movement, I should say. And, back when I was studying Chinese medicine in Portland, Oregon, I loved the Qigong curriculum. We went on retreats every quarter, and the Qigong retreats were like divine. I felt a shift in my body physically and energetically. And after I left the program, that was the one piece that I so craved. So when I was back in Bali, I was reminded of Qigong. And so now I do a little bit of Qigong online, and who knows, I might go deeper into the Qigong work, because there's so much about our physical body with the energy body that I think is so relevant even with human design, right? So the more I can integrate these pieces together, I think, like, for me, it's all about the embodiment. We can go down the rabbit hole and learn everything there is to know about a certain topic, right? Everything is Googleable, really, right? But until we actually put things into practice and experiment, and spend time in integrating and processing it and being with it, and really like putting it into our cells through embodiment, it doesn't really mean much, right? And so it gets to be a journey, and that's the journey I'm on, even with human design, right? There's areas where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so conditioned in one way. And this is where I find it so helpful to have guidance, right? And to have more time with the embodiment piece. So with all that said, if you are interested in learning more about human design from an embodiment perspective, please stay connected with me, because in about 2 weeks, I'm going to be launching something. And this is why there's going to be a lot of changes to the structure of my business. And stay in touch with me, because my whole next piece is about embodiment, and going back to the foundation, the essential components. So follow me on social media, connect with me on social media if you don't already. You can find me on Instagram, michellewong.xo, and on Facebook, you can just send me a message if we're not already connected, Michelle Wong Catalyst. Just send me a DM saying, hey, I hear you on your podcast and would love to stay connected, because I get a lot of friend requests that it gets overwhelming that I don't friend request or accept all my friend requests. But if I get a message that, hey, I heard you on your podcast, would love to connect, then, obviously we can connect. And so, yeah, there's more to come. I am so excited for what is coming. I have not announced it publicly yet, so stay tuned by following me on the socials, because I'm taking a break through my podcast. So anyway, love you all so much. I wish you all a beautiful rest of your July, your August, and September, and I will quote unquote see you back on August 4th, 2021. And just to give you a heads up, I don't know where I will be in the world in October 4th, 2021. Initially, when I was coming to Bali, my plan was to be here for at least 6 months. That's how long that's how long I can renew it. But with the changes around the world and with different restrictions, things changing on the dime, I don't know where I'll be. So you'll have to just follow me on the socials or keep your eye out on October 4th. Yeah, and interestingly enough, now that things are starting to open back up again, I feel like there's a little bit more freedom here. So maybe I'll end up being here for my 6 months. We will see. So anyway, I love you all. Have a beautiful next few months, and I'll catch you all soon. Cheers.